The Excitech BIM 360 surgery today. It's number 50, so a special edition as such. So we've reached the milestone of 50 surgeries, and this morning it's all about the updated Navisworks Issues Integration. So I'm in a BIM 360 project, and what we're going to show you is how Navisworks now integrates with this new update. So I've got a couple of things set up within my project admin just to make you aware of, and this all evolves around model coordination. So I've got some model coordination spaces here. So you can see I have a coordination review area, and then I've got model coordination. One is project files, so this is sort of my work in progress clash avoidance area, and then I've got my as-built model federation area. So if I jump into Navisworks, so this is Navisworks 2021, and with the latest update, you will get a new install file, and this updates the previous Navisworks issues, and you now get BIM 360 coordination. So first things first, they've introduced this new coordination space button, and this directly connects you now to your BIM 360 coordination spaces. So whatever files you've put in via BIM 360, they can now be accessed and opened within Navisworks. So you can see I'm in my Excitech 360 hub, and I've got a project here called the New Possible. And what we have now at the top is this select coordination space. You select the drop down, you'll see this represents what I've just shown you in BIM 360, in the fact that we've got our model coordination area, and that loads the models from the plans area, and also the coordination review area. So it will load in all the different models, and it also loads in any views that you have created within these spaces. You can see within my plans area, I've not really got to that yet, but within the coordination review area, I do have an arch versus the engineering lobby section. So the awesome thing about this is that I can just open the files direct from 360. So if you're using this to store your documents, they are all here. You can see I've got IFCs in here, and I've got the Revit file, and the architecture is then split into the different views and the phases. So if let's look at something mechanical and structural, and you can just click open. You have got buttons where you can just tick them all on and off, and then you just click open, and this is sort of taking down the data into Navisworks. So the workflow is really simple. It's all connected. The data is now there. So you can see that has opened these models direct from BIM 360, and there they are. So the beauty of this whole thing, first and foremost, is that you can use the full range of Navis tools. So forgive me, I'm not an expert in Navis, and I haven't played about with it in a while. I used to be able to train it pretty badly, but let's have a look and see what I can remember. So if we look at the selection tree, you'll see it's the full information that you get. I'm going to create a couple of selection sets, so then we can use and actually run some tests, and you can show you the issues and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep this as simple as can be. So I'm just going to look at the columns and framing. I'm going to create that as a selection set. We'll call that steel. Create that there. We look at the mechanical model, and I'm just going to be very blasé. Take the terminals, the equipment, any ducting, duct fittings, duct types. So you see that's taking all sort of the main mechanical stuff, and again I'm going to save that as ducting. So two of the most basic search sets are now saved. So the beauty of this is, if I turn them off, is that if we, let's say, go in and look at the clash detection side of things, and I create a new test, and I say steel v ducting, and then I use the selection sets that I've done. So we click in here, let's go steel, selection A, ducting, selection B, run the test. So we'll leave it at the 10 mil, and you can see it has run off a series of clashes, and it's found all this information, and the clash is there. So you can see that the full functionality works but we're accessing the models out of BIM 360. So you've got all that. You can again go through and do all your standard clashing stuff. But the beauty of all this is that if we go back and look at the coordination space and we click the issues tab, this is sort of the building on the previous stuff that we had before, which iteration 1, which was unified issues. So you can see that this is loading in all the issues from the BIM 360 environment that have been raised within model coordination. You can see I've got some issues there within models are not current, but what I can do is based on the clashes that I'm looking at within here. So if we just make some space, pop you there, we can now start to create the issues based upon what we're seeing within the environment here. So I've got an issue here. I can click create issue, pop the pin on the screen. So pop you in there, and then we can change this from a design. So it's going to be a coordination issue, and it can go, let's say M, and it's pipe and ducting. And then, or we can then use the assignment and we can assign this. Now I've got a project with all these sort of generic personas set up. So this is going to be the systems tech guy is going to be assigned to. The due date is going to be, let's say we'll give him a bit of time. We can root cause. It looks like this is coordination issue. I've got some custom attributes, so I'm saying that's a high risk and there's a potential damage factor of 50 associated. Click create. And you can see now we've got the models down from 360. We've run the native Navis tools for selection sets and for basic clashing. We've raised issues then against that clash. So you can see now it's here, which is 122. If we jump into 360, I'm currently logged in as myself, but if I switch this to my millions of different Google Chrome personas for 360, and we say, okay, this is now going to be the systems technician. And the way I've set my Chrome is that every time I click persona, it just changes directly into that. So I don't have any issues with passwords or logins. And now I'm straight into my project as the Excitech systems technician. And that issue was then assigned to me. So I could go and select my email, and that hopefully we'll have an email. You can see there, action required, the new possible, but I can also click into document management and then have a look at that unified issue. So this whole workflow is really, really nice and smooth. So click into issues. Let's have a quick look at what we're looking at. And this issue should appear on the list because we know we've got the email notification for it. You can see there it is. We click in and have a look at the issue. And you can see that we've got our photo and we've got all the information. So I could go in and obviously I would fix that issue in whatever authoring tool that I'm using and rerun it. But I can just go and, you know, let's say model updated to suit. And we can just put that in and I can change that back to answered. And then what I usually do, I've got a system where the technician assigns it back to his team lead, which is Excitech Systems. Click done. So now the issue was raised in Navis. It's round tripped into 360. I've answered it and then assigned it back to my team lead. And if we click back into Navisworks, quick refresh, obviously then you can see this issue is now answered. And because if I'm the guy answer, I can then go close. Thanks for updating. We are all done. So it's pretty cool in the way that the coordination spaces are linked. We can then get the issue round tripping. We can then refresh and update. And obviously if that issue is updated, if we do a refresh in BIM 360, this will then all be updated and saved within the unified issues. You can see the issue is now gone, so it won't be there anymore. And then one of the final things I want to sort of show you is that as you do all this work in Navis is we now have the ability to save this file. So you can see I've appended the data in, I've ran a clash check. If we go File, Save As, we can now just save this NWD file back up in our, we can now save the file as an NWF backup into 360. So you can just select the drop down. I'm going to pick the 360, go into my hub, the new possible, project files, and again, just depending on where I may want that to be. So I may say team collaboration, and I'm going to just quickly give this a name, Steel V 15 or whatever you want that to be, and then we can simply click save, and then that file will then save up into 360. So if you need any more info on how to get the latest update, just give me a shout on all the social platforms. Hit me up on email, jonathan.hand@excitech.co.uk. Just like or comment on the video if you need help as well, or reach out to your Excitech account manager. I think it's some really cool technology. It's really progressing and making this a really tight workflow for how this all works. That's pretty much it. There's some exciting stuff coming down the lane with some new updates in the next couple of weeks with 360. So join me again next week for session number 51. So thank you very much. See you soon. Stay safe.